back. Thanks for joining us. Now the boom is back. A new report has housing prices in Ireland rising by €100 a day.
Just think about that for a second. When I saw that yesterday, I was like, what? Sorry, what? To discuss this further, Barry McDonald is a spokesperson for the REA. He joins us in studio along with Martina Hennessy, who is the MD of Doddle.ie. Good morning, Martina and Barry here in studio. It's lovely to have you here. I mean, Barry, looking at something like that, there are people around the country going, well, I'm never getting on the property ladder. €100 a day. What's going on?
Well, I think the report is, what's great about this is it highlights the plight of first-time buyers. We often read reports, we hear, oh, values have gone up 3.2% or they've gone up X amount. It kind of means nothing. But when you put it into that kind of context of €100 a day, it really strikes home that people are sitting in their houses and this is happening. But meanwhile, there's people, typically young first-time buyers out there trying to get their foot on the property ladder, and they're seeing this, and it creates this panic in the market. It's very, very difficult for people to try and get onto that property ladder when this is the market they're faced with.
But what's going on? Like, what's going on? Because there's talk of lack of supply, there's the venture funds, there's all sorts.
We went through this a decade ago.
The government are trying to do their housing for all and everything else, but it doesn't seem to be making any impact.
There's a number of things that have brought us to where we are, but I've little doubt that there's one main thing, and that's the word that's on the tip of the tongue of most buyers out there at the moment and estate agents, and that's supply. After the property market crash, the construction industry was left on its knees and there was little or no building done for essentially 10 years. There's a kind of a general consensus that we need a certain number of new homes every year. Because of dilapidation and changes in demographics, we need, and that number is approximately 25 to 30,000 new units each year. But for a good 10 years, we didn't come close to meeting that number of supply. And I think now we're paying for it with a housing supply issue.
But there's, like in this, we talk about it all the time, the fact that there are, you know, investment portfolios, that there are so many places, and I mean in Cork, in Limerick, in Galway, in Dublin, happening, and even just individual houses, not just apartments anymore, that are buy-to-let. So no one can get on that property ladder. We don't have, private landlords are leaving the industry like you wouldn't believe, because like, you know, as an estate agent, you also deal with rental prices, and that is unsustainable for people. Like, you need to be earning 100 grand in some places to be able to rent.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the last 12 months we've seen an awful lot, and you've touched on it there, private landlords leaving the market. And that's because regulations are getting tougher for private landlords, and that's leaving an opportunity for these funds to come in, and this public bodies, essentially, from a rental point of view. And you're right, from a sales perspective, it's not helping the market. But also, on the flip side, rents are going up too, so there's not enough to rent. So clearly, we just need to see further rollout of new builds. And we did see that getting back around about 2018 and 19, but unfortunately, the pandemic slowed it down again.
Let's go across to Martina as well and talk about mortgage. I mean, we're seeing there how much it costs just to be a renter. And for people to try and put a deposit down on a house and get a mortgage as well, which, you know, to get a mortgage, what's that, 3.5 times your salary? It's almost impossible at the minute. Martina, what are you seeing and what are you hearing from people who are tearing their hair out?
Yeah, yesterday's headline would be so frustrating for all of our purchasers who have been actively looking to get on the market. It comes on the back of last year's double-digit house price increases, and people are running to stand still in terms of trying to get deposits together, trying to rent properties in urban areas, especially where rents are so high, while trying to accumulate a deposit of a minimum of 10%. It's very, very challenging for purchasers, but yet the demand is there. 2021 saw, you know, at the highest number of mortgage approvals in 10 years. And again, this quarter, even today with new figures published, show an increase each month, month on month, in those looking to purchase homes. So the demand is hugely there. And as Barry has said, the issue is supply. The issue is lack of properties coming to market to buy, and new builds, lack of new builds. We've gone through 2 years of COVID where the number of new units and new homes coming to market has been far below the level that's required to meet demand in the market.
Martina, I'm just wondering when it comes to actually getting mortgages, because we know so many people that are paying rents above what they would be doing if they were repaying a mortgage. You know, they could be paying $2,200 on their rent. They can't get a mortgage because they need to have 3.5 times their salary with their 10% deposit. But, you know, they'd be able to afford to pay a €1,400 mortgage. And, like, if you're in Donegal now, your average salary needs to be almost €35,000 a year. In Dublin, it's 90,000. In Cork, it's 67,000 almost. So interest rates in Ireland, when it comes to what people can afford to do. We're in a Eurozone where some countries have 0.79 of an interest rate. Ours is over double here in Ireland. Why can't we go, like, we're in the Eurozone, why can't we go to a bank in Finland or Germany and say, I want to get my mortgage there? Because the interest rates in Ireland are insane.
Yeah, so the average interest rate in Ireland has been high, is one of the highest for the last 5 years. So it's 2.76% at the moment. So it's double the Eurozone, triple some countries. But legally, if you're buying a property in Ireland, you have to take your mortgage in the same jurisdiction. So that means that we can't go to other markets or to other jurisdictions to take a mortgage to buy a property in the Republic of Ireland. There is some change that has come to market. So, right, we've seen the exit of Ulster Bank and also of KBC, you know, the impending exit this year. However, there have been some new entrants to market who have come in with a different mandate. They've come in with lower rates, but yet the pillar banks who still have the higher rates seem to get the lion's share of the market. So there's an issue in relation to competition in the Irish market. There's an issue in relation to how we price, and the issue, it falls back onto the consumer to pay more for their mortgage on a monthly basis. So the real call out to customers is that they should be researching the market. They should be making sure that they can pay as little as possible on their mortgage interest.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem fair, does it?
No, it just doesn't, because it's like, how could it be almost 3 times other countries?
Lack of competition, 2 banks actually pulling out of Ireland.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't worth it for them.
Oh, God. See, we're just going to get frustrated and be talking about this all day.